Crews are literally having to dig people out of the snow. We'll tell you how local emergency crews are helping.
Plus, a warning tonight about another deadly drug combination that's already killed people in Northern California.
President Biden will be in San Diego on Monday, why he's here and who he's planning to meet with.
Hundreds of students are learning from some of the best mariachi musicians in the world.
And Urban Corps members are building a tiny home, hoping that the construction skills they learn will lead to big things.
And was your mom right? Does sitting too close to the TV really hurt your eyes? We verified. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Too much sewage from Mexico is causing more frustration in the South Bay. Tonight, we're learning about damaged equipment that has been taken offline at the International Wastewater Treatment Plant. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Jesse Pagan in for Carlo Cicchetto. The equipment is offline right now because of the sewage. CBS 8's Brian White is at the facility near the border with how this is going to affect people along the coast.
I just got done talking with an operations manager for the International Boundary Water Commission, and he says this treatment plant is being overwhelmed by the amount of sewage coming from Tijuana, by the simple fact that more of it is coming in than this place was built to handle.
Since August, this wastewater treatment facility has been inundated with excess flows from Mexico due to a pipeline break south of the border. To give you an idea, this plant was designed to treat 25 million gallons per day, but with the excess flows, it's been dealing with another 5 million gallons on top of that every day.
That excess flow causes extra wear and tear in the plant. It brings trash and sediments. They've damaged some of the equipment. They've clogged the tanks, so we've had to take them out of service.
All 5 tanks in the primary treatment area, which is where solids are skimmed out initially, have been taken offline to be cleaned.
We're still treating the same amount of flow as we did before. We just aren't able to remove some of the solids as much as we'd like to.
Fortunately, other areas of the facility are still treating the wastewater, which is ultimately discharged into the ocean 3.5 miles off the coast through an underwater pipeline.
This is our secondary treatment, and this is where we use bacteria to treat the wastewater. It eats the organics and some of the dissolved solids.
Yellow signs of the beach warning of sewage contamination were posted nearly 250 days last year in Imperial Beach, and people are frustrated.
It's just another insult to injury.
Serge Dedina with the nonprofit Wild Coast says this problem, though challenging, is totally fixable.
They need to hammer and pressure Mexico to fix its sewer system, to fix these broken pipes, because it's killing beaches in IB and Coronado.
Mike Harris, who's lived in IB on and off for 60 years, is frustrated too.
It's irritating. That's what it is. And I don't even let my dog walk on the beach right now. I don't want her to catch something.
One of the tanks will be back online in about a week, and all 5 should be operational by June as authorities work with Mexico to fix the broken sewer pipeline.
This is traumatizing for IB. Our lifeguards can't go in the water. So if they rescue somebody who goes in the water, they could get sick.
In Imperial Beach, Brian White, CBS 8.
A winter storm that's forced evacuations, washed out roads, and brought more rain and snow to Northern California and the Central Valley is hitting San Diego County. Tonight, that atmospheric river isn't expected to make a huge impact here, but it's causing more problems for people in places like San Bernardino County. That's people in mountain communities are still trying to dig out from the last storm, which turned deadly.
We have team coverage tonight. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live with how our local CAL FIRE crews are helping people up in San Bernardino County tonight. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis for a first look at your wet and rainy microclimate forecast. Carlene.
That's right. It started to roll in by the afternoon hours, and we had some heavier rainfall across North County. A flood advisory has been issued by the National Weather Service. Now, this is going to keep going all the way until 9:19 for tonight, to be specific, right down to the minute. So you are talking about a chance for more rain in the forecast. This is what we're dealing with on our radar currently. So you're looking at rain across the county. Most of the county is dealing with that activity. You're seeing that from Oceanside towards the border. So that's the case across the mountains, also seeing some activity, and still more batches of wet weather on the way. So we're still seeing some activity exiting Santa Barbara and then moving closer towards us. So we're still holding on to those chances. We're looking at rain chances in the forecast all the way into the overnight hours. That's when we're expecting the bulk of the moisture from now until then. Then by tomorrow morning, a little less coverage, but our rain chances dry up by about 3 p.m. for tomorrow. Drier for Monday and Tuesday, where we have a warm up, but we're not done with atmospheric rivers just yet. another one by next week. Those details are coming up. But CBS 8's Kristin Holmes was with CAL FIRE about their rescue and recovery efforts in San Bernardino County. She joins us live with details. Kristin?
Hey there, Carlene. I'm here at CAL FIRE headquarters in Rancho San Diego. These guys are absolute heroes because, as we mentioned earlier, 13 people have died so far in this storm, and volunteers say that they expect that death toll to rise because the snow is blocking road access and people are stuck inside of their homes. CAL FIRE says they're digging people out of their homes, out of their cars. They're even finding people walking down the street in the snow and rescuing them that way. And they're also delivering life-saving medication.
Originally, we were going to do it with drones, but we had 40-mile-per-hour winds, so we had to go to Plan B.
Rich Egan with Chula Vista Fire Department says they sent a crew to help with snow rescues on Monday, and now snow rescues also included delivering much-needed medicine like insulin to people who were trapped inside of their homes in the snow.
Today, we're delivering 13 medications to different people, 13 different people. Yesterday, we did 18.
And that's just one of the several families CAL FIRE had to help dig out from the snow.
There was just no way out for a lot of people, so they had to get up there and dig, remove the snow, get to the people who were trapped, rescue the people who were trapped, get them out from their houses.
Brent Pasqua with CAL FIRE says they have 8 engines and 3 battalion chiefs on the ground helping with rescue and recovery efforts.
Some of the people didn't want to leave, so we brought them food and water and wood and made sure they had what they needed. We helped rescue a lot of people who were just thought they were just driving to the store and back. Those roads are hazardous without that much snow, and you add that much snow to it and it just creates a lot of problems.
Brent says CAL FIRE received more than 5,700 emergency calls since the storm started on Monday, and some of those rescues were from people who were just trying to walk to safety.
They got out of their cars, they just had a long walk, and it was almost impossible to walk on some of the roads. So our crews assisted them with, putting them in the engines and getting them to their home.
Besides digging out, local CAL FIRE crews even brought necessary supplies like groceries, whatever was needed and wherever they were needed across the state.
We pre-positioned crews, in the Inyo County, Mono counties, just ready for anything.
Chula Vista Fire Department also came to the rescue.
Basically from Running Springs area, Crestline area, all the way to Lake Arrowhead is the area we're covering. We're covering all cities over 4,000 feet elevation.
Brent says as they get ready for another round of storms, CAL FIRE is asking those in the path of that storm to get ready for what's coming next.
Replenish all those supplies, stay indoors, stay inside. It's just so hazardous out there.
You know, it's times like this where we remember that these are the heroes and we want to thank them. So CAL FIRE tells us the best way you can thank them is to come up with an emergency plan for you and your family to make sure that you guys are safe just before the next storm comes. Reporting live for CBS 8, I'm Kristin Holmes. Back to you, Marcella.
All right, Kirsten, stay dry out there. Thousands of people from Northern California down to the Central Valley are under evacuation orders tonight. In Tulare County, flooding turned a small creek and large grassy cow pasture into a raging river. Fresno County was just one of the other places where high water forced people out of their homes. In Kern County, one woman described having to quickly move her elderly mother to safety.
I got my 82-year-old mother. We got her on higher ground. We got a great community. Everybody helps everybody around here.
Washed out roads have also left people trapped tonight, and here's what it looked like in Tulare County, where floodwaters rushed right through this home. San Diego County Sheriff's deputies shot a man in El Cajon this morning after they say he nearly hit them with a stolen truck. Investigators say deputies found the truck on Oro Street near Sumner Avenue just after midnight. When they walked up, a man was behind the wheel. They ordered him to get out, but instead, they say, he hit the gas, nearly hitting deputies and slamming into a patrol car. Deputies then opened fire, hitting the man in both legs. The man continued to drive that truck about 3 blocks before crashing. Deputies later found him hiding in a backyard. He was arrested and then taken to the hospital.
Kristin Smart's convicted killer will spend 25 years to life in prison. A Monterey County judge sentenced Paul Flores today after a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder last October. Smart was 19 years old when she disappeared in 1996 while she and Flores were Cal Polytech students. Officers arrested Flores in 2021 with his father, Ruben Flores, who detectives say was an accessory. A separate trial and jury acquitted Ruben. No one has found Kristin Smart's remains, but she was legally declared dead in 2002.
A health alert tonight in Southern California, warning of increased overdose risks from an animal sedative being mixed with other illicit drugs. It's called xylazine, and it's already killed people in San Francisco.
As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, the latest alert is coming from Los Angeles, and it's likely only a matter of time before we start seeing overdoses in San Diego.
It's some kind of horse tranquilizer. It can kill you instantly, and that's what happened to my son. I miss him. Don't ever get to hug him again.
The name of the drug is xylazine, but its street name is trank. People have been overdosing on it for years on the East Coast. It killed Kim Seidel's son, Cody, a couple years ago in St. Louis.
I was scared, shocked. I didn't know what to do. It's affected my family. It can affect any family.
Cody's autopsy report showed a mixture of xylazine and fentanyl, which is common.
But he still had a lot of life to live.
Yeah, he did.
Last month, San Francisco's medical examiner announced 4 deaths from overdoses involving trank. This week, an alert from Los Angeles County. Xylazine is now likely present in the LA drug supply. On the streets of Philadelphia, trank is rampant and brutal. Users frequently discover their skin starting to decompose. In some cases, it leads to amputation.
You can just walk out into Kensington Avenue and you can smell the rotting flesh. It's awful. We have a gentleman that comes in here and has been coming in every day who has a gaping flesh wound across his chest right next to his heart.
Because trank is a sedative, the nasal spray Narcan won't work on it. There is no treatment and no way to detect it in street drugs. But experts say using a test kit for fentanyl can help. Madeline Hilliard is an EMT who volunteers to prevent overdoses in college students.
One way for recreational drug users, if you're using something like cocaine or MDMA or methamphetamine, to try to avoid xylazine would be using a fentanyl test strip because they are so often concurrently mixed. And then also, of course, you are avoiding fentanyl, which is much more lethal than xylazine.
The most dangerous risk, users sometimes don't realize that trank is mixed in with the drugs they're taking.
Don't experiment with things that you have no clue. There's drugs out there that will kill you instantly, and this is one of them.
Now, the San Diego County Medical Examiner's Office tells me that they currently do test for xylazine in overdose cases when warranted. So far, it has not come up in any local cases here in San Diego.
Now, David, you mentioned the connection with Narcan here. If someone is overdosing on xylazine, will Narcan spray hurt them?
No, Narcan will not hurt them. In fact, since trank, as it's called, is frequently mixed with fentanyl, giving the victim Narcan may actually help them recover somewhat because obviously Narcan does work on fentanyl.
All right, maybe a silver lining there. David Goffredson staying on top of this one before it maybe hits San Diego. David, thank you.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Yes.
Thanks, David. Coming up, a milestone birthday for the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center.
Plus, President Biden is coming to San Diego Monday, where he's going and who he's meeting.
Also up next, more details are emerging tonight about a deadly mass shooting in Hamburg, Germany.